Before Bangkok existed, there was only water spreading across the delta like clear glass. Mangrove swamps stretched to the horizon, thick with mud-tangled roots and deep silence. Fishermen poled narrow boats through winding channels, hunting shrimp beneath tropical sky. This floodplain had no walls, no temples, no streets, just water and earth waiting. The Chao Phraya River met the sea here, depositing silt season after season for millennia. But beneath that quiet surface, one of Asia's greatest capitals was slowly taking shape. Stay with us as we journey through 6 centuries of transformation, destruction, rebirth. This is the entire history of Bangkok, from swamp to megacity in 12 minutes. The year is 1350, and while Bangkok sleeps beneath swamp power, rises far upstream there. The kingdom of Ayutthaya emerges where 3 rivers meet, protected by water on all sides. Within decades, Ayutthaya becomes the heart of Siam, a golden capital covered in spires. Its population swells past 1 million by the 1600s, making it one of largest cities. Markets overflow with silk from China, spices from India, porcelain guns from far Europe. French Jesuits build churches alongside Buddhist monasteries in this cosmopolitan city. Ayutthaya grows so rich that visitors call it the most beautiful city they have seen. But downstream, where river widens toward sea, a small settlement appears on the wet banks. The locals call it Bangkok, meaning the place of olive plums growing wild near water. A cluster of wooden houses on stilts rises above the tidal mud and seasonal flooding. Bangkok exists only to serve Ayutthaya, collecting taxes from passing merchant ships. The people here number in the hundreds, not thousands, living on fish and the river trade. No one imagines this backwater outpost will ever become anything more than a footnote. Then, in 1767, everything changes when the Burmese army surrounds Ayutthaya's mighty walls. For 14 months, they lay siege, cutting off food supplies and bombarding the Golden City. When the walls crack and Burmese soldiers pour through the breach, total chaos erupts fast. They torch every building that will burn and smash every Buddha statue they can reach. Temples that took centuries to build collapse into rubble in a single day of hot flames. Over 100,000 people die in the massacre and the famine that came before it. Ayutthaya, the Golden City, the Venice of the East, is completely, utterly destroyed forever. But Siam refuses to die with its capital, and a general named Taksin escapes the burning. He gathers survivors and flees downstream to that obscure trading post, Bangkok by sea. Here, protected by tidal swamps and a labyrinth of muddy channels, he makes his final stand. Taksin crowns himself king in this waterlogged refugee camp, declaring it the new capital. But Taksin fortifies it with whatever materials his men can salvage from the river trade. He dredges canals to create defensive moats and transportation routes through the terrain. Within 5 years, Bangkok transforms from a village into a fortress city holding power. The swamp begins to drain as workers dig channels and pile earth to create solid ground. In 1782, a new dynasty rises when General Chakri takes the throne as King Rama I. He looks at Taksin's swamp fortress and envisions something far grander than a military camp. Rama I orders the construction of an entirely new royal district on the eastern riverbank. Thousands of workers dig a massive canal cutting through the very bend in the river itself. This artificial waterway creates an island called Ratanakosin, shaped like a perfect teardrop. On this island, Rama I builds a palace complex designed to rival lost Ayutthaya's glory. The grand palace rises with walls 20 feet high protecting courtyards and throne halls. He builds Wat Phra Kaeo, the temple of the Emerald Buddha, to house Siam's holy relic stone. He officially renames the city with a ceremonial name, 168 letters long, praising angels. But the world ignores this mouthful and keeps calling it Bangkok, the name that truly sticks. The 19th century arrives, and Bangkok grows into a city of water like nowhere on earth. Canals called klongs crisscross the delta in every direction, creating a vast liquid web. Nearly every house stands on stilts above the muddy tide that rises and falls twice daily. Floating markets drift through neighborhoods at dawn, selling fruit fish noodles from boats. They cook on boats, sell on boats, sleep on boats in the eternal rhythm of Chao Phraya River. Western visitors arriving by ship call it the Venice of the East, marveling at architecture. The population swells to 200,000, then 300,000 by mid-century mark. Hundreds of temples multiply across the city, their golden chedis catching tropical sunlight. Chinese immigrants flood in by the thousands, settling in dense neighborhoods along waterfront. They bring new trades, new food, new energy that makes the city pulse with commerce and vibrant life. Bangkok glitters across the water, a city of gold and wood floating on soft Siamese delta soil. But the world outside Siam's borders grows darker and more dangerous with each passing decade. European colonial powers devour everything around the kingdom, carving up Southeast Asia. The British seize Burma to the west, and Malaya to the south, with guns blazing, forcing treaties. The French take Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos to the east, planting tricolor flags on every hill. Only Siam remains independent, squeezed between empires balanced on a political tightrope daily. King Chulalongkorn, who rules as Rama I from 1868 to 1910, sees the danger coming clearly. He modernizes Bangkok at breakneck pace, to prove Siam can match European advanced civilization. He builds roads where only canals existed before filling in klongs to create wide boulevards. He constructs the first paved streets that allow carriages to roll through the royal district. Railways connect Bangkok to northern provinces, shrinking distances that once took many weeks. Electric streetlights appear, turning night into artificial day along the main thoroughfares. Trams begin rattling through streets powered by electricity, humming through overhead wires. Western buildings of brick and concrete rise alongside ancient wooden temples in stark contrast. Bangkok becomes something hybrid and strange, part Asia, part Europe, wholly itself, utterly new. The 20th century brings upheaval that shakes the foundations of Siamese society monarchy. In 1932, a bloodless revolution ends 700 years of absolute royal power overnight. Siam becomes a constitutional monarchy with a parliament, though power remains contested daily. The country changes its name from Siam to Thailand, embracing modernity and national identity. Then, in 1941, World War II crashes into Southeast Asia with bombs and invasion armies rolling. Japan occupies Thailand, forcing the government into an alliance it cannot refuse without ruin. Bangkok becomes a Japanese military base, hosting troops and supplies for campaigns across Asia. Allied bombers strike the city, repeatedly targeting railways, bridges, and suspected command posts. Entire neighborhoods burn when incendiary bombs rain down, igniting wooden houses like matchsticks. The memorial bridge collapses into the Chao Phraya River, twisted metal sinking beneath water. Thousands of civilians die in the raids as they huddle in shelters, offering little protection. When the war finally ends in 1945, Bangkok lies battered, bomb-cratered, and deeply traumatized. But the city refuses to accept death as its final fate, just like Ayutthaya centuries before. And then, in post-war decades, Bangkok explodes in size at a pace unmatched anywhere on Earth. In 1950, the city holds roughly 1 million people living in traditional wooden neighborhoods. By 1970, the population triples to 3 million as rural migrants flood in seeking factory work. By 1990, 6 million people pack into a sprawling metropolitan area with no clear boundaries. Today, the greater Bangkok region holds over 10 million souls, living, working, and just surviving. Skyscrapers erupt across the skyline like steel and glass mushrooms after monsoon rains. The BTS SkyTrain and MRT subway carve through the air and underground with modern, swift speed. Shopping malls the size of small cities appear offering air-conditioned refuge from brutal heat. Sukhumvit Road becomes a canyon of towers where expats and tourists navigate crowded sidewalks. Ceylon throbs with banks' office buildings and traffic jams that stretch for frustrating long hours. Khaosan Road swarms with backpackers hunting cheap hostels and adventure in equal measure. The klongs that once defined Bangkok as a water city mostly disappear buried under concrete slabs. Only a few canals survive as tourist attractions where boats churn through dark, polluted water. The floating markets become staged performances for visitors, not the real commerce they once were. Bangkok transforms into a modern Asian megacity for better and worse, gaining and losing much. But Bangkok never forgets it was born from water, and water never forgets this particular city. The Chao Phraya River still flows through its heart, brown and powerful, carrying monsoon season. Monsoon rains still flood the streets every year, turning roads into rivers that swallow cars, bikes. The city sinks a few centimeters annually, settling into the soft delta mud beneath its concrete. Scientists warn that parts of Bangkok could be underwater by 2050, as the seas slowly rise higher. The swamp is patient beneath the concrete and asphalt, remembering what this land has always been. Today, Bangkok stands as one of the world's premier tourist destinations, drawing curious travelers. Over 20 million visitors arrive each year, drawn by temples, street food markets, and urban chaos. It's a city of impossible contrasts that shouldn't function, but somehow thrives despite itself. Golden temple spires rise beside glass and steel towers in a skyline both ancient and hyper-modern. Buddhist monks in saffron robes walk past teenagers glued to smartphones and designer boutiques. Street vendors cook pad thai on tiny carts in the shadow of billion-dollar luxury condominiums. Traffic jams last for hours in heat that melts asphalt and tests every driver's endless patience. Yet somehow through all this chaos, the famous Thai smile persists, genuine and deeply resilient. Bangkok has risen from nothing, not once, but 3 times across its improbable storied history. From swamp to trading post, from ashes to fortress, from ruins to roaring proud megacity standing. It floods and burns, sinks and rises, dies, and refuses to stay dead for very long at all ever. Chaotic, overwhelming, beautiful, maddening, and utterly defiantly alive, despite everything thrown at it. Like and subscribe, because the next city on our journey is just as utterly extraordinary as this.